So we already know how to add custom skills, we know how to add custom synergies, and we know how to add custom classes. So the natural progression of that is to ask the question, well, how do we add a custom race? And this is probably something that you will run into a lot more often than a custom class or a custom skill, because we only have the races that are included in the player's handbook. And there's so many more races that players can choose to play that more often than not, you're probably going to be picking from something that's not actually on this small and somewhat limited list here. So let's just take a normal monster race that people would choose to play, and let's go through the steps to add it to the spreadsheet. So I'm going to, for the purposes of this, just go with something simple, and we're just going to go with Goblin. So first thing I'm going to do is just format that row, those cells right there, to look natural. And I want to make sure that it's aligned to top like that. And put Goblin right there. And Goblins have a +4 bonus on move silently, ride, and hide checks. So we're going to write that in right there. And you want to make sure to wrap text so that it will actually correctly make that bigger. Okay, so now that that's there, at least you have that there, but there's a lot of things that you're going to need to add in terms of formulas and conditional formatting before this is all working how you'd want it to be. So ideally, when we put in our race up here, we get a light up in blue right here. And we want if we put in Goblin right here, we want this to light up blue like human does. So what we do is click on the cell, right click, and head into conditional formatting. We want a custom formula, and we're going to need to reference the cell that we enter our race into. And on this spreadsheet, it is H3. So we say equals H3 equals, in quotes, Goblin. And then we're going to set it to that blue color. And there you go. And so now what we want to do is we also want to actually put into our miscellaneous modifiers all of these bonuses that we're getting. So we need hide, move silently, and ride. So let's head over to hide, miscellaneous modifier. And you can see that there are already some races up here that give us a +4 bonus to hide, and those are gnome and halfling. So what we're going to do is we're going to add another condition into the or statement here, put a comma in right there, and then we're just going to say the same thing, H3 equals Goblin. And now this means if the race is gnome, halfling, or goblin, we're getting a +4, or else we're getting a +0. And we also want this to light up blue, so we go into conditional formatting over here, click on this already existing rule, and once again, we're just going to add in the condition if H3 is equal to Goblin. And we want to capitalize it because consistency. And there you go. So you just do the same thing for the other ones. So we have move silently now. Move silently is right here. We have this. So here we have an issue of halfling, and halfling is only getting a +2 on move silently, but goblin is getting a +4. So we want to factor that in. So how can we do that? Well, we already have the condition here. If the race is halfling, we get a +2. And this 0 right here is what returns if the condition is not met. So what we can do is we can delete that 0, and we can say if H3 is equal to Goblin, that's our condition for the if statement there, then we say 4, and if it's not equal to Goblin, then we say 0, and then we're good. Now we have a +4 there, and once again, we want to make it blue. And here we don't have anything else that's giving us a bonus to move silently in blue. So that's actually a mistake. We want to add it so that halfling and goblin make this cell blue. So we go to the custom formula and we say equals or in parentheses h3 equals in quotes halfling, comma h3 equals in quotes goblin. So the halfling part of that should have already been there, but it was a mistake on my part. So we want it to illuminate that blue there, and we have it here and here, and now all we need to do is put it in ride. Okay? And here's an interesting case. We have a formula here, but it's not a formula that checks for races, it's a formula that checks for synergy. So we're going to need to do a little bit of extra work here. So what we want to do is we don't want to mess with this at all. So what we do is we put a plus sign, and then we say if, and then the same thing we have been doing, h3 equals goblin, and then comma 4, not 3, 4, 0. All right, so we have a plus 4 here, and we also want it to illuminate blue, and we can do that in the same way that we have done it before, where we say custom formula equals h3 equals goblin. And we got to put in the quotes. Always put in the quotes when we're referencing the string. Make it blue. But the thing is, we have to account for something here. We have to account for if the character that we've made is getting this synergy, I-29 is handle animal. So if they have 5 or more ranks in handle animal, they're also going to be getting a synergy and it's going to light up green. But if they're goblin, then it's also supposed to light up blue. So what do we do if both of those things are met? Well, we have a backup for that. As you can see in this key right here, we have this color that we're supposed to turn the cell into if it meets both of those criteria. So what we want to do is we want to add another rule. And it's going to be a custom formula, as always. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into cancel for a moment, actually. And you're going to want to copy this formula right here. And you're going to want to paste that in there. But first what you're going to do is you're going to say equal or, open parentheses, and you're going to delete the equal sign from right there. No, actually, you don't want an or, you want an and. We want if both of those conditions are met. So if we have 5 or more ranks in handle animal and h3 is equal to goblin, close the parentheses, then we want it to illuminate this color we have right here. And then, very importantly, you need to hover your mouse over these 3 bars right here until you see this kind of icon that your mouse turns into. Click and hold and drag it up to the top. And it doesn't matter what order these two are in, as long as this one is at the top, everything will work. So now if I put 5 or more ranks into handle animal, which I will do, thusly, we can see that we are getting that double bonus there and we're indicated correctly. And that is how you add a custom race and how you deal with some of the other formulas that may already be in some of these miscellaneous modifiers while doing so. And of course, you don't technically have to do this. You can just add in the bonuses manually. But it is more, I don't know, it's more fun to be able to add in the race and then forever be able to use it. So I would recommend doing it this way whenever you have the option. So I hope you learned something useful today, and I hope this benefits you in your D&D experience. Thanks for watching.